Mr. Treya, dear friends, honorable guests. We are going to start a day today called Namibia Day. Because today, it is indeed the day of Namibia. Oggi è il giorno della Namibia. E oggi desideriamo presentare a tutta la comunità economica milanese, lombarda, italiana, dell'Europa, del mondo, che esiste uno stupendo paese che si chiama Namibia. Abbiamo autorità che ci visitano oggi, abbiamo amici, abbiamo qualche nemico, ma quelli non sono tutti amici. If I may do, Mr. Minister, introduce to you the chairman of the Asso Lombarda. Asso Lombarda is the largest, most important Italian employers association. Asso Lombarda stands for a lot of values in the city of Milano, in the Lombardia, and last but not least in Italy. And it gives me a great pleasure to pass the floor to Mr. Alberto Martini, that I do invite to come up here and wish us all Namibians and Italians welcome to our day, the Namibia Day. Mr. Martini, Martini.
Dear guests, let me thank Mr. Johansson, Consul of Namibia, a good friend of mine, for inviting me today. It is a real pleasure to have such a rich delegation from Africa and Milano. And particularly, it is an honor for us to Minister Honorable Chiechero. Thanks for your coming. I am the president of the Association of Industries of Milano. Our member companies are active in all manufacturing and services sectors. The crisis has forced Milanese business to rethink strategies of internationalization, both in terms of the number of markets served and of their mode of presence in the countries concerned. Yet, African markets are not among the main objectives of Milan companies' activities of internationalization. I think that it is necessary to fill in this gap that still exists between the opportunities offered by the continent and the actual presence of our companies. Otherwise, other companies from other countries take advantage of these opportunities. Chinese companies, for example, are becoming one of the major investors in Africa. Namibia not only is an Amazon country, but it also offers a big range of business opportunities to foreign countries. Let me mention only tourism and infrastructure, but today's speakers will provide a complete outlook of the investment projects that the country is carrying on, and Italian companies have the know-how and the capabilities that allows them to be very competitive at international level. I would also like to mention that Namibia, in the African context, boasts an impressive rating as a competitive investment location. Beside its continuous ranking among the 5 most competitive economies in Africa. The recent survey carried out by Assolombardo on the processes of internationalization of firms in the mainland area showed that half of our companies are active in foreign markets. And it was the medium-sized manufacturing companies that showed greater propensity to export. And the presence of our companies in emerging markets is really growing. Thank you for your coming and for your work today. Thank you, Mr.
Mr. President, thank you very much. Now, I would like to pass the floor for just 2 seconds, a little bit more than that, to Mr. Gianmario Mandrini. He is chairman of API, which is the Association Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises in Novara. And he is just going to give 2 words to wish us welcome to Milan on behalf of the small and medium-sized enterprises. Mr. Mandrini.
Buongiorno, benvenuti. Io rappresento la piccola e media industria che è molto importante in Italia perché è l'80% della produzione e soprattutto dell'impiego. Qualche difficoltà ce l'abbiamo, direi qualche difficoltà piuttosto pesante. Abbiamo un portavoce che non è naturalmente in supporto alle piccole e medie industrie, che è la Presidente di Confindustria, che chiaramente non ha capito che cosa serve oggi alle piccole e medie industrie, per cui noi siamo sempre più in difficoltà, avremo delle grosse difficoltà e auguriamoci che prima o poi ne potremo uscire. Comunque la giornata di oggi, grazie al dottor Peter Johannesen, è molto importante perché sono quei sospiri di sollievo per le aziende, perché vedono un'opportunità non tanto in Europa quanto ormai in paesi diciamo al di fuori della comunità europea, quali ad esempio può essere la Namibia, che ho visto che comunque è una nazione molto bella, molto fresca e soprattutto molto interessante. Per cui oggi le piccole e medie industrie guardano soprattutto anche a queste opportunità di collaborare con questi paesi, perché sono paesi molto forti, molto reali, che comunque possono riempire quello che può essere una base di collaborazione con le piccole e medie industrie. Io non vado oltre perché chiaramente non è oggi il tema di discussione sulle piccole e medie industrie, comunque ringrazio tutti i presenti e mi scuso di avervi trattenuto, però mi sembrava doveroso comunque di essere soddisfatto per questo grosso incontro che Peter Johannesen ha organizzato, perché ci dà delle grosse opportunità. Grazie a tutti.
È il mio turno. Tocca a me parlare della Namibia. It's my turn to talk about Namibia now. And I will talk about Namibia for a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes. Namibia è un paese bellissimo, è un paese nuovo, è quasi il più giovane paese del continente africano, ma un paese che ormai ha raggiunto una democrazia compiuta. Il nostro primo presidente, dopo i 2 mandati votati, ha deciso di non farsi rieleggere. E nella scelta logica dell'alternanza, un altro presidente ha preso il suo posto. E così sarà in futuro. Una democrazia che bisogna sottolineare non è sottile, è molto spessa. Perché noi abbiamo un paese molto particolare, eterogeneo. Abbiamo una maggioranza qualificata neri, abbiamo una minoranza qualificata bianchi, ma siamo riusciti a trovare una conciliazione grazie a una grande visione politica dei nostri leaders. La Namibia si trova tra l'Angola e il Sudafrica ed è la porta d'ingresso di un'area che si chiama SADC, una porta d'ingresso enorme, con una porta che si spalanca a chiunque vuole fare del business in quell'area del mondo africano. È la porta aperta per 200 milioni di abitanti, i paesi tra i più ricchi del continente africano, sia pro capite che in valori assoluti. È un paese che apre la porta a tutta l'Africa subsahariana, perché tra poco leggerete che l'area SADC diventa un'area comune, la nuova grande struttura di un continente che trova unificazione doganale, unificazione di valori e unificazione economica. La Namibia è un paese bellissimo, dove ci sono montagne, valli, steppa, animali, il più antico deserto del mondo, il Namibia, dove abbiamo le dune che sono rose, rosa, sono bellissime. Poi abbiamo il Kalahari che è ancora più affascinante. E poi andiamo a nord nel Damaraland. Nel Damaraland ci sono le valli su e giù, romantico. Andiamo oltre, perché noi andiamo oltre, e chi è qui sa che cos'è oltre. E poi andiamo al nord nel Kaukoland, violenta terra incontaminata. Andiamo al confine con l'Angola, nel fiume Cunene, per muoverci a oriente verso il Caprili Street. C'è una strana storia di questo fan Caprili che l'ha regalata la Namibia. E lì siamo proprio sopra il grande parco nazionale di Etosha, il secondo parco assoluto del continente africano, in dimensioni, in numero di animali, in purezza, e la Namibia è bellissima. E chi non è ancora stato in Namibia avrà delle penalità, ma sono punti che potrà guadagnare in un prossimo incontro, perché il nostro ministro tornerà per spiegare cos'è la vera Namibia economica, industriale, commerciale. Io sono un gran romanticone, amo la Namibia, perché la Namibia è the land of space, the land of grace. And with these words, I would like to pass the floor to His Excellency, Honorable Comrade Minister, because he is going to tell us the truth of our economy, of our market, of our commerce, of our industry, and our opportunities. Thank you for your marvelous silence. Grazie.
This is now real European technology here. As long as I don't cause any damage.
No problem.
I did not take any insurance coverage, so I...
Director of Ceremonies, our Honorary Consul of Namibia, of the Republic of Namibia
in Italy, Mr. Alberto Martini.
No, that's it.
Yes, that's him. The chairman of Solombada, and distinguished members of the business community from Italy and Namibia. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. I am very happy to be here in Italy, Milano, and have the opportunity to watch AC Milan in person and experience a very wonderful infrastructure through metro. And that was wonderful. You play good soccer, by the way, and there are a lot of fans here. At least through soccer we know about Italy, apart from Rome, where the Pope is. It is my distinct privilege to address this beautiful and well-attended business seminar in this beautiful city of Milan, Italy's second biggest city after Rome, yet renowned as the country's capital in business, fashion, design, and music. If we were talking about religious issues, we would have been in Rome, but we're talking about business. This is why we're here in Milan. Let me thank the Milan Chambers of Commerce and our honorary consul for the excellent organization of this beautiful event, as well as you, the distinguished local private sector, for being here, leaving your busy schedule to make more money, but rather to come and listen to a politician from Africa. But also that you've taken time, because you were told that it's not only politicians that would come, but there will also be your counterparts, the business counterparts from Namibia, whom I will introduce to you so that you can see them yourself and not only listen to a politician. Thank you very much for coming, Italian business people. I believe that our meeting today will serve to identify investment opportunities in our two countries, and that this meeting will enlighten us on how to tap into such opportunities in a cost-effective and a beneficial manner. Therefore, let me share with you that the business people that I am with are ranging from sectors such as tourism, general trading, manufacturing, in leather products, IT, fisheries, agriculture, finance, and various investment promotion opportunities. They are ready to engage you. Director of Ceremonies, the current trade between Namibia and Italy stands negligible at a mere 36 million US dollars. Well, for Milan, this is peanuts. This comprises of Namibian export to Italy Namibia to Italy at a mere $5 million US, but maybe more so. Encouragingly though, Italian imports to Namibia stands at $31 million US. At least there is something happening. We export to Italy mainly fish, raw hides, some leather and leather products, dimension stones, you know, those big marble blocks for tiles and the rest. And in turn, Italian exports to Namibia are mainly cereals, fruits, nuts. Then we get ceramic tiles back from our raw materials, vehicle spares, spare parts, and some accessories. And Italians have invested extensively in our tourism sector, like in lodges and related facilities. And last year alone, 2010, we recorded a total amount of 12,000 Italian tourists visited Namibia. It is a reasonable figure, though. Congratulations for visiting Namibia. But more needs to be done. Thus, there is a great need for investment and trade seminars such as this one to boost our economic relations. Italian businesses need to invest more in Namibia, and this should be premised on the favorable provisions of the Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement between the two countries. This agreement was already ratified way back in 2004, and that was to guarantee repatriation of profits, because we're talking about business, and protect against any unprocedural expropriation of your profits by the government. We are guided by that agreement. Namibia, as the Honorary Consul said, is a cosmopolitan. It's a multicultural. It has got political stability and indeed a peaceful country. But it has got many natural resources. Hence, investors from various countries are doing business without any social or political disturbances to those businesses doing business in Namibia. The rule of law through an independent judiciary, freedom, independent media are firmly established in Namibia, a country which is sometimes described as the best kept secret in Africa. This is why you don't know about us. And others would rephrase that, say Namibia is a gem worth visiting, a gem worth investing, and where possible, it is a country worth taking residence. in this regard, the Mo Ibrahim Governance Index in 2010 rated Namibia within the 10 best governed countries on the African continent, while the Africa Competitiveness Report of the same year 2010 credited Namibia as the fourth, 4 most competitive economy on the African continent. Although we are small, we are unknown, we have got all the ingredients to make you a successful business. A third agency called Transparency International ranked Namibia at 56 out of the 180 countries on the 2010 Corruption Perception Index. And in Africa, among the top 5 countries with the lowest corruption incidences. So clearly, there is external evidence, not by ourselves, external evidence supporting the credibility of Namibia. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, we therefore are here to share with you, apart from what I now have said, that we have an abundance of natural resources such as gold, uranium. Talking about uranium, you may want to know that Namibia is at the moment 4th uranium producing country in the world, no more in the continent, is now in the world, 4th. We also have got zinc, we have got copper, we have got diamonds. And talking about diamonds, De Beers has been mining in Namibia over 100 years. They did not manage to finish them. We still have got plenty. But we also have got enough fish. But being honorary council, we would have been the last. But being the second youngest independent country in Africa, this is now after Southern Sudan became the youngest baby. That makes us only 21 years. We require large technical and human resources so that we can exploit our resources that I have just narrated a few minutes ago. That is why we are here today, ladies and gentlemen, because we need your expertise. We need your experience. We need your capital and your international marketing and your know-how so that you can help us to develop our natural resources as partners. No more these marbles, process them here, send them back as finished product. We want you to do it there where it originates. As partners for our mutual benefit. Therefore, value addition to our resources through foreign direct investment is essential to grow and diversify our economy and create employment and wealth for Italians and Namibians. Also, we have a rapid growing tourism industry, which is the third largest source of foreign exchange earnings after mining and fisheries. You can also add as a fourth element, agriculture. There are many business people present in my delegation that are looking for cooperation opportunities in their various sectors and sectors that are not represented here. And I trust that you will have the opportunity to interact at this meeting with them. Now, to save time, I will not be able to call each one of them individually, but I will ask them to stand up in the various sectors that are represented here so that you can see them when we talk of business to business, that you would have a clear picture who to talk to. I have decided not to speak on their behalf when it deals with the operational issues. I want you to meet them in person, that you can start creating that relationship. Shall I ask those in tourism, lodge owners, etc., just to stand up so that you are seen? No, stand, never, so business people don't get easily tired. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. That's in the tourism. Financial sector. No, please. I mean, you are too tall, this is what they can't see you. All right. ICT. Right at the back there and here in front. Talking about ICT and our telecommunication, you can get at the most remote lodge in Namibia and you will still be online with your business here in Milan or anywhere else. So we're not that backward Africa. We have made few strides. Construction. Here in front, there. Thank you. We have construction, IT, agriculture. Agriculture, there as they stand, there are also ministry representatives. I have spoken about fish, your beef, etc. There are ministry officials. The gentleman that you see is based in Brussels, and the two ladies here who look after your beautiful steak beef. They work for a corporation called Meatco. From general trading, agriculture, agro-processing, etc. Thank you. Fisheries. There you see headed by the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, from aquaculture and all the marine products. She will engage with you in a minute just to share with you what opportunities there are. Any other industries apart? Then we have from our embassy in Paris, there's the first secretary and the commercial counselor. Mohammed, please stand up. So if Namibia is too far, Paris is just here in Europe. you are in the same zone, you get in touch with them. And then, as a ministry, our mandate is to facilitate your needs. No, I forgot there is one at the port, because we got one of the beautiful and excellent harbour, Walvis Bay, but under Port, Namibia Ports Authority. We don't need to fly all your heavy equipment, we can transport them via the sea. And then anybody else that I've left apart from the ministry? Energy and general training, entertainment, etc. DJ, thank you very much for reminding me. They haven't seen you, they only saw your back, but they want to dance it. Thank you. Sorry?
Water industry.
Oh yes. And our main partner, which is the Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Northern Industry. Motor industry, sorry, yes. Motor industry, I spoke about spare parts, etc. There is a man that looks after, once that new car has become a skorokoro. You know what is skorokoro? When it has become obsolete, he gives it a new life, a new identity. That is how he looks like. You see, he has been panel beaten himself. From an overall to a businessman. Thank you very much. Our partner, the Chamber of Commerce, you've got the two here and the lady right at the back there. This is our partner back home. They are your partners as well. I would love to see an MOU being exchanged so that you can share experiences together, that both of us can benefit. And finally, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, who will facilitate your need, headed by the Deputy Permanent Secretary. And the colleague here who would engage with you dealing with the export. Maybe this is why the export has performed much better than imports. That is under his responsibility as the acting Chief Executive Officer of that implementing agent of the government. We got from investment and international trade. Investment, when you get in there, we will take care of you. Thank you very much. Now finally, ladies and gentlemen, oh sorry, and then we make sure that what we do is conveyed back home. We have media representative from print media and the national broadcaster, the gentleman that you see there. That is the transparency I spoke about. We don't come and commit the country here outside our mandate. So I must watch out what I say and do. I am here to present the true picture of Namibia, and that is on record. They are not spies, they are our partners, because they inform and they educate. Have I forgotten any other group? All right, that is the entire delegation that I have. I could not bring the whole Namibia. These are only a fraction, and they do represent more than one sector. Please engage with them. Ladies and gentlemen, our government has invested heavily in the development of the infrastructure, such as rail and the harbour infrastructure to increase trade investment. I was encouraged that there is an Italian representatives here promoting our air, which is our Air Namibia, and the tourism board. Thank you very much, fellow Namibians. for promoting Namibia in Italy. All this infrastructure is to ensure that trade investment flows to and from Namibia and the rest of Southern Africa. We have also developed the modern deep sea port of Walvis Bay, considered to be the most efficient port in Southern Africa, with a zero pilferage rate to serve over 400 billion US dollars strong market of SADC. It serves as a gateway to other Southern SADC countries. We have got 3 dry ports for Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Zambia. And this goes by road through our Trans-Kalahari highways and Trans-Caprivi highway. This takes you to Angola and the DRC. You can do that via Namibia. I therefore take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to invite all of you through the chamber that we will have an investment conference in November 29th to 30, 2011 in Vintu, to be hosted by the Commonwealth Business Council and Namibia. Kindly collaborate with our Honorary Consul, Dr. Johansson, who is based in Milano, to be part and participate in that particular conference, where more opportunities would then be at display. This will give you a good opportunity to expand your businesses in Italy or elsewhere through Africa, although you know Africa as one country, but Africa is a continent, and Namibia is a country within that continent. So you can get through African continent through Namibia. And this would allow you to cement some real business opportunities to grow your profits. With these many remarks, I thank you for your attention.
Mr. Minister, thank you very much. It is without doubt enlightening to know that we have not only one, but many business opportunities to develop in Namibia. So, I have the task to introduce Philip Namujebo, acting CEO of Offshore Development Corporate Company, which is the Namibian, let's say, institution of who does foreign investments in that type of business in Namibia.
Director of Ceremony, Dr. Peter Johnson, Honorable Minister, Chairperson of Employers for Association, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Philip Namujebo. I will take you through the investment opportunity in Namibia. First of all, it's quite an honor to be in Milan, in Italy. We having a nice time. I think the minister briefly talked about our stay here. I'll cover the basic fact about Namibia, and I'll look at the Namibian sector briefly, and then some kind of recent investment success stories, and then why we believe we should invest in Namibia. I think the Honorary Councillor spoke about the Namibia. We are here just in the southern Africa. Northern part, we have Angola. Somewhere northeast, we have Zimbabwe. And then on the eastern side, we have Botswana. South Africa is here, and then we have the Atlantic Ocean. And then we, about 825,000 square kilometers, quite a vast country in terms of size. The neighboring countries spoke about it. Our population is about 2.2, but in terms of our grouping, where we belong, like SACU, you're looking at about 50 million. SADC is more than 300 million. You're looking at a combination of a combine of more than 3 billion GDP per capita. Windhoek is the capital city, based in somehow in the center. We got our independence 1990, and the minister spoke about the parliament, the form of government, democracy, and it's well covered there. English is official language, but I think there are Italians, people who speak Italian, especially in the tourist industry and also in the restaurant business. This is some of our export. Apart from, you have diamond, you have fish, meat, one of the natural steak. I was looking for the steak here, but I was not able to get it, but that's the opportunity. Grapes, our beer is well known, leather, but apart from that, we also export uranium. We are the 4th largest uranium. In fact, the minister covered that. And then zinc and other products. These are the sector which has been identified by government, which has got a growth potential to accelerate the economic growth. Apart from that, apart from agriculture, tourism, transport and logistics, construction of low-cost housing and manufacturing, there are others. But what we're saying is that currently you're looking around the growth, around 4 to 7% contribution towards the GDP. And then I think that's part of the government vision, the aspiration to say that what we want to do, we want to grow the economy from 4 to 7% per annum, as outlined in the Vision 2030, which is the Namibian government aspiration plan. In terms of agriculture, you're looking at cattle, goats, sheep, and production. But I think this sector will be also covered by the colleagues. But what we're looking at, you're looking at around 1.5 growth. And in terms of your business potential, but then one has to do the numbers in terms of your return on investment, it could be higher. But that's the focus. Apart from that, you're also looking at the invader bush, which one should be able to use in order to generate energy. And it's quite a large number. You're looking at around 26 million hectares, which one can generate a lot of power. Not only to supply in Namibia, but the whole Southern Africa. In fact, in the Southern Africa, power is there's quite a shortage of power, and then somehow we're looking at alternative energy, and that's where the industry one can look at. Green scheme, I think one of the colleagues will talk about the green scheme. Tourism, it has been spoken. It has got quite potential. You're looking at around 1.5 per annum. And I don't want to dwell on this because I think the colleagues will talk about it. But then what the government is doing is that they continue to revise and look at the design different strategy to refocus on various issues, including tourism. We want to intensify the marketing of Namibia, to be able to promote Namibia. That's why we are here. In fact, if you want to reach Namibia, the shortest way is to fly from Milan to Frankfurt direct. The other ways, but that is the, I was talking to the Namibian, the Namibian representative, he said that's the shortest, and I believe it, because it will have one stop, and then the rest you are already in Namibia. And then also, we're also looking at expanding this. In fact, what the Namibian government have done, they have now signed up with the Air Emirates. They have opened an office, they're looking at flying direct from Namibia to Dubai using Emirates. So what you're trying to do, you're trying to have more accessibility to Namibia. Apart from the continuation of upgrading, establishing of tourism infrastructure, this is ongoing, and then it has got a potential for business people like you. This is just Namibia at glance, tourism, hospitality. But we cannot condense Namibia into a picture like this, but this is briefly some of what you can expect in Namibia. Transport and logistics, I think the Deputy Minister spoke about the dry port for the neighboring countries. We position ourselves as a gateway to SADC. I think Doctor also talked about the entrance. So the port of Walvis Bay has got quite potential in terms of expansion, maintenance, and road infrastructure, upgrading, and all that. So these are all business opportunities. Manufacturing, we looking at the beneficiation of mineral resources in Namibia. Those are the type of minerals which are available. And in terms of business opportunity, it's quite vast. You can look at various sectors, various states. You can go downstream, even up and downstream, in terms of all this. Currently, I think we have a marble manufacturing in Namibia, which acquired the equipment from Italy, and they do marble and granite processing for the export to Italy and other countries. Value addition, I think the fish processors that will be highlighted, production of pharmaceutical leather processing, and then timber processing as well. Other investment opportunity, you're looking at the banking, finance, film production, telecommunications, mining, exploration, education, and energy. So basically, the investment opportunities are quite vast in Namibia, so you just have to talk to us and then identify a business opportunity we should be able to facilitate. Our role is to facilitate. These are some of the recent investment in Namibia. Areva is in the uranium, which is a French company, your neighbor here, and then we have a German group which invested in cement, and then Spain. So these are the Italian company, Bra 2000. This combination of three, what they have done, they have supplied Namibia with the machineries to cut and polish marbles, to cut marble and slabs for export here. In fact, what happened, the Namibian company, which is called Namibia Stone Processing, they have a service agreement with the Italian companies. Then what they do, they send their expert on a monthly basis to do the service. But then the bottom line here, when you look at the numbers, what it shows is that there's quite an opportunity for the Italian investors to invest in Namibia, for us to be able to improve these numbers. This is just one of the investment in tourism and hospitality. Why we believe you should invest in Namibia? The minister talked about peace, stability, democracy, and good governance. The rule of law, our laws are enforceable. It doesn't exist in paper. It exists in paper, but it's enforceable. We have a business-friendly, legal, and regulatory framework. In fact, if you invest in Namibia, your investment is secure, it's guaranteed. You can expatriate your profit. Your investment is guaranteed, you can also expatriate your profit. Depending on where you want to be, if you're looking at the manufacturing, you can either opt to operate within the EPZ, which is, you have to add value for manufacture, value addition for export outside any other market, outside SAFU, which is South Africa, Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland. But then when you Manufacture, you're looking at zero tax. You don't pay anything. All you do, you have to engage in value addition, manufacture it for export outside South. And then we have other options like exporters and manufacturing incentives. So these are, we can talk in details if you are ready. Or we can also try to assist in terms of your investment in. I think all the infrastructure has been talked about, excellent telecommunication that has been talked about. In terms of the coverage effect, like the telecommunication, the mobile network, you're looking around between 80 to 90% coverage of the whole country. Namibia is a gateway to Southern African region. If you want to target the Southern African region and beyond, you have to use Namibia as a springboard. Apart from what has been said by the doctor and the deputy minister, it's real. Inflation, of course, low, sound financial system. I was looking at the CNN, the MD of Old Mutual Group was saying that the company of, I'm sure you are aware that the company has got a value of 300 million US. And then they were saying about where do they get their investment, where do they get their return? And they're referring to the Southern Africa. In fact, they were saying that the banking system is quite established. It's not necessarily affected by the world crisis. And you can use Namibia as a springboard to reach the Southern African and others. Our labor force is quite young and trainable. They are eager to do business. So what we are doing, we are just waiting for you to invest in Namibia. And that Namibia welcomes you anytime. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Philip. We are going on, and I do expect that from, say, the Chamber of Commerce of Namibia, we will be enlightened now with what this organization can do for us. Thomas, Ricky, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. We are from Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Chamber of Commerce, first it was National Namibia Chamber of Commerce of Industry, which was established in 1990. Then thereafter, we said that we have to transform in a single chamber for Namibia as a whole in 1998. We have branches in various towns, and we cover almost 13 regions in Namibia. Our mandate, we are advocating to foster partnership for benefit of the private sector. We provide services for improving global competitiveness of members, and we also facilitate the private sector contribution to national development effort for sustainability purposes. What we do is that we facilitate visa also. That's our key. When you come to Namibia, we don't need to start. If you become a member of the chamber, we also do the facilitation of work visa and work permit. We promote trade and investment facilitation, and also we also arrange for trade mission, fairs, and trade fairs. The network opportunity, if you are a member of the chamber, you have an opportunity to network with other business opportunity in Namibia. You got business information and trade inquiry, where to trade and where to offer services and products throughout the country. Capacity building is one of our mandate. Also, training and have seminar and workshop and conference. We also issue certificate of origin, business linkage, and matchmaking. So it's very important for you so that we can link up with other service provider and product which you offer to our country. We say that trade between Namibia and EU is very important. Among EU, it has been there, about 80% of our fish and meat and grape are being exported to EU countries. Significant value, and there are still a lot of opportunity in terms of the trade. So there's a lot, huge opportunity, which also through our business linkage, which you can get if you are a member of Namibia Chamber of Commerce. It was said already that we are 21 years old and we are politically stable. Business climate, so we have a very good transportation and communication in terms of linkage of port of Wabasbai to neighboring countries and the well-developed transport corridors through movement of cargo, and we have also two international airport linkage Namibia with outside world. Services to business, we have financial services sectors available, and we also have, in terms of communication, reliable, affordable, and fast internet services. We have private and public health. If you get sick, you don't need to get worried. We have private and public health sector which will take care of your health. NCCI is advocating that and supporting the government as we are middlemen. We do facilitation, and we call it Namibia is the ideal gateway to Southern Africa. Doing business in Namibia is very, very profitable. You can make money if you are doing business in Namibia. There are a lot of opportunity in Namibia, massive for investment and for trade, and you must make use of NCCI. When you come to Namibia, join NCCI, then you get more interaction and services and information and opportunity available in Namibia through our Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And our contact detail, you can Google website NCCI at all.na. So we welcome you to join the chamber when you do business in Namibia. And then we hope to see you soon. A lot of Italian. Thank you.
Thomas, just on time. Va bene, noi abbiamo parlato di economia generale, di paesi, geografia, di turismo. Uno dei settori trainanti, one of the most important sectors of the Namibian economy è sicuramente il settore ittico, pesce. E abbiamo la fortuna di avere il segretario generale del Ministero della Pesca, la signora Ivelua. So I would like to invite the PS of the Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources to this table. Thank you.
Director of Ceremony, Honorable Deputy Minister, business persons of Milan, good morning. We are going to look at fisheries. However, our presentation is into two parts. One part is looking at the marine, and the other part is looking at agriculture. That is farming in the water. And that is simply the title, Namibian Fisheries Outlook, and it goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, Namibia is already indicated in the previous presentation. So it's on the southwest of the African continent. It is coastal line with 1,572 kilometers. It's indeed a long coastal line. Our exclusive economic zone is 200 nautical miles, and we have two main harbors, namely Walvis Bay and Ludwig's. So you can see there. Our fishery resources is basically very productive due to the upwelling of nutrients resulting from the Bembera current. As you all know, basically there are three countries who belong to the Bembera current, namely Angola, Namibia, and South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of the Republic of Namibia, through the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, have put up quite a number of policies and legislations. So that is for the marine, as well as for inland fisheries and the aquaculture. And all these policies and legislations are formulated in line with Food and Agriculture Organization Code of Conduct for Responsible Fisheries. Whatever we are doing, we have taken into consideration the international trend, and that is regulated by FAO. In Namibia, we follow what we call fishery management systems. Our fishery is managed through what we call total allowable catch, the TAC. And the TAC is allocated also a quota in terms of the offshore control limitation. The terms of fishing rights. In order for you to fish in the Namibian waters, you have to have a right. And those rights are allocated for 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but I have to mention here that no one to date has been allocated 20 years. Maybe still to come, huh? When you come in, maybe you'll be lucky to get the 20 years. And of course, the 3 years. When you get a right, then you are allocated a quota. What you are allocated is a Namibian resource. Therefore, you are expected to pay a quota fee, which is a revenue to the state. You are also expected to contribute to the fund, which we call levy fund. And before you sail into the Namibian waters, you have to have a license. So you have to pay for that license. While you are in the water, you may, I'm using the word may, catch a fishery which is not in your license. You have to pay for that. And that is what we call a bycatch fee. Okay? Those are the main fishery species in the Namibia, which are found in the Namibian waters. Pretty quickly I'll go through. We have hake. I'm sure enough you know what a hake is. Then we have pilchard, horse mackerel, tuna, which is large pelagic, mom. We have swordfish, crab, and rock lobster. Those are some of the fisheries which are found in the Namibian waters. We would like to believe that there might be more which have not yet been discovered. Performance of the marine capture fisheries. Plus minus, we are estimating that the landing is 500,000 metric tons. and approximately 90% of product are exported to EU, is already mentioned in the previous presentations. The landed value is 6.7 billion, and the export is 7 billion. So the question I was asked in the previous presentations is why the landed value is less than the export. It's because some of the export are the frozen. They are not landed, they just, straight from the ocean, and they are exported. Approximately 12,000 people are permanently employed in the fishing sector, but this does not include the casuals who comes in during the peak season. Opportunities for investment. Our government continue to encourage foreign participation in the exploitation, processing, and marketing of our marine resources through mutual beneficial joint venture formation. There is also potential for investing in the fishery manufacturing industry, like in the light pelagic, horse mackerel, seals, and so on and so forth. There are opportunities for investment in research, development, processing, and technology. We believe that there is still a lot to be done, and there might be some fisheries which we have not yet discovered, maybe on the bottom of the ocean. This whole morning we have been talking about Namibia, and why should you come to Namibia and invest in our fisheries? Very simple. We have a conducive environment to do all that. All the previous speakers, including our Honorable Deputy Minister, talked about the excellent infrastructure which we have, the harbour, we have cold storage, processing factories, transportation, we have. My colleague will be from the port, will talk more about what else issues. Ladies and gentlemen, we have peace and goodwill, political will from our leaders, so the stability is there. We have effective fishery management system in place. As I already indicated, how we manage our fish in terms of the total allowable catch. Legal framework is in place. So whatever you generate, whatever we do together is definitely secured. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, Namibia welcomes you as investors, welcomes you to buy our fish and fishery products. Joint ventures are also welcome in processing our fish. I thank you very much, and we are looking forward to receiving you.
Yes, good morning. I want to touch now on what Permanent Secretary Hevalua alluded to, anything that grows in water. I was quite impressed when we flew over the northern parts of Italy. Every square meter is being utilized. And I think we have opportunities in Namibia, and I call it the blue revolution. We can utilize and farm in water. Yeah, in the global context, the blue revolution, and it's referred to as aquaculture. And Mr. Chairperson, with that I'm very pleased to see that Italy also has joined the blue revolution. Now, aquaculture, globally, I'm talking in a global context today. It's not an option anymore. It's a must. If we were to keep up with the global demand, we know that the seas and the rivers are not producing what they did when our grandparents and our parents were fishing. So there's only one way to fill the gap, and that is by farming. Now why we in Namibia, the government, has developed this sector? Yes, we decided we'll join the Blue Revolution. Worldwide aquaculture, it's a major growth industry. This is where you can start making business into the 21st century. We know there's constrained supplies on the fish, on the crustacea and the mollusks. So how are we going to fill this gap? And the word is aquaculture, join the Blue Revolution. Now our government, our ministry has very clear mandate. It says when we talk aquaculture, we've got a mandate and let's promote the sector. We have a clear vision to be a well-developed aquaculture industry. Mission, yes, we want to ensure a conducive environment for the fishing and aquaculture to prosper. Because we're talking business here. And this is all in line with Vision 2030 and our National Development Plans 2, 3 and 4. Now, let's quickly just look from the north to the south. And I want to focus on mariculture because that is where the money is. Mariculture. We can talk freshwater shrimp. We can talk tiger prawns. I know our waters are very cold for the Penaeus monodon, which is the tiger prawn. But hot houses, the opportunities are there. We're talking oysters. Our oysters grow, and I'll come to the success story just now, on Chrysostria gigas. You also grow them in Europe, be it France, be it Spain. Abalone, Haliotis midday. We're talking here up to $40 a kilogram, the Asian markets. And then we're talking about finfish, the Mozambicus oreochromis. The economic importance of fishery and aquaculture products. Now, in Panama in July 2012, they made the following statement. Fishery and aquaculture products are the most internationally traded commodity currently. About 40% of global production enters the international trade. In some countries already, aquaculture has become economic pillar number 1. And we say, if we in Namibia become economic pillar number 4 or number 5, we will be very satisfied. Yes, contribution to the GDP and employment. Now, I said I want to focus on mariculture. Let's look at the mollusks. Now, why is it so ideal to farm with Chrysostria gigas, which is the oyster? Superb water quality. Productive upwelling system, which our permanent secretary referred to. The food is free. You don't need to feed your oysters. It's free food. We have a zero pollution. This is not an overstatement or understatement. There is zero pollution. We have 5 cities along the 1,560 kilometer coastline. A rapid growth. How fast do these oysters grow? And we're talking cash flow now. You want to make money, not in 4 years or 5 years, within the first year. Oysters grow to a market size between 6 and 9 months. Other European countries, I won't mention it, the oysters take 18 months to reach the market size. In Namibia, 6 to 9 months. Why? Because of the productive upwelling benguela. Sea temperatures ideal, and we alluded on already on the infrastructure. Let's look at the mollusks, the high-valued species. Chrysostera, those are long lines you see on your left-hand side. Then we have mussels, scallops, abalone, Haliotis midday. The industry is there already. This is the private sector who has entered this industry, high-valued species. Now, to sum up, mariculture sector, a major role and potential for foreign investors. This is the production of the high-value species, and it mainly goes as export commodity. Now, where will the hub be? Where would you farm? Yes, Walvis Bay, as well as currently Oranjemund is the diamond town. It's the 5th town along the coast, and by end of this year, this town will be open not just open for opening a shop, but also that we go into the aquaculture industry. Now, we've heard about tourism in Namibia. Many tourists say the following to me: at the heart, the sea and your inland rivers, there's so much potential here. What are you doing? I say, yes, we're 21 years old. If I look at your buildings, if I look at what's happening here in Italy, this is 2,000 years history you've got. We've made a start. We're 21 years. And this is where our Honourable Deputy Minister said, let's come together. Let's unlock this potential. And I'm calling it mariculture. Now, what have we done? And I'm coming to the end, Mr. Chairperson. Another 1.5 minutes. You want to come to Namibia through the Namibia Chamber NCCI. We have commissioned a feasibility plan, a master plan, to look at the potential in all 13 regions, from the Caprivi down to the region 13, up to region number 1. You want to invest in aquaculture. By January next year, we'll say this is the master plan, go through it and decide you want to invest in number 1, region number 6, number 5, number 10, where. This is what this feasibility study that we commissioned by a reputable company who's putting this together for government. In concluding remarks, the blue revolution is to stay. Aquaculture is here to stay. It's a must. It has become a must in many, many countries. There's a need for joint ventures. We can't do this alone. Let's join hands. You from the business fraternity. You've heard about the political world. It's there. It's a revenue generation. And together, let us cooperate. And we call it the impossible. The impossible can become possible. And we use a word, Mr. Chairperson, at home. And the word, we can. There's nothing impossible. Thank you very much.
Great. We have been talking about fish. We have been talking about tourism. We have been talking about economy in general terms. But as you probably are aware of, no, non lo sapete tutti, la migliore carne del mondo è namibiana. Therefore, if I may pass the word to Andre Opouch. Andre is a colleague from the Embassy of Namibia in Brussels, and he will enlighten us on some meat issues. Andre?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you. In short, the outline of my presentation would focus on the green scheme policy, the environment and natural resources available to the agricultural sector in Namibia, as well as projects that have been identified and developed within the agricultural sector. Only I can operate this. Yes. The agricultural sector in Namibia is divided into two subsectors, the livestock sector as well as the crop sector. Now, under the livestock sector, we have got cattle, sheep, goats, chicken and pigs. Crops, we have got the stables, which is maize and pearl millet, commonly known as mahangu, cash crops and horticulture. Now, under horticulture, table grape production has seen phenomenal growth, and we have in our delegation also a colleague in the grape industry. He is from the Orange River Irrigation Project at Ausenkerk, that's in southern Namibia. It's a program that is done in conjunction with the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Forestry. So in essence, it is a private-public partnership arrangement. Also, within the delegation, we have got companies, and I would like you to also meet these colleagues. We have got meat corp. There will be a presentation on meat. Haiki 54 Investment, Equafo Dynamic Investment Enterprises, and Kambua Trading. All of these companies are also involved in the agricultural production as well as agricultural services. The green scheme, we've heard of the blue revolution. Now you'll hear a bit of the green revolution, which we call the green scheme. It was in essence adopted by way of decision by cabinet of the Namibian government. The decision number is there. It is approved, and well, the idea is that the program was approved to increase investment as well as the promotion of food production through irrigation. 5 key things you should take from the green scheme. It is firstly to ensure that we have got increased food security, there is value addition to the local produce, job creation, improved agricultural productivity, as well as to allow for greater exports of Namibian agricultural produce, both regionally as well as internationally, such as your market here in the European Union. In short, the green scheme policy is designed to maximize irrigation opportunities in Namibia. Towards the end of the presentation, I will show you a slide where you can find these water courses around which these irrigation projects are supposed to take place. The target group of beneficiaries, investors and people with irrigation expertise. Emerging commercial farmers, rural communities, as well as individuals that have got title deed to their land. That's just a picture of one of the dams we have in Namibia, which can also be used as an area around which the green scheme projects can be developed. Irrigation land available, 45,000 hectares. Currently under production, slightly more than 9,000 hectares. So clearly you can see there is still ample scope for growth under the irrigation projects that we have running. Rainfall. Well, there's a map as well as some pictures of the rainfall patterns as well as the rivers available at the northern borders as well as the southern border in Namibia. Labor, very young and trainable population. The Faculty of Agriculture at the University of Namibia offers a degree program in agriculture, both in crops as well as in livestock. For processing, there's also a food processing department, and then there's a agricultural economics and a diploma training program. So there is a lot of capacity in these areas where students gain some valuable skills and knowledge in the agricultural industry. Markets. The EU serves as an important market for Namibian agricultural produce. Currently under the economic partnership arrangement, the interim economic partnership arrangement, we have got duty-free, quota-free market access for our goods into the EU. So there is no shortage of a market in the European Union, as well as the regional market, and also not to forget the domestic market. Some of the projects that I referred to in the green scheme, Vungu, Etunda, all of this is basically focusing on crop production, animal feed, horticulture, assisting small-scale farmers with irrigation projects. So there is ample scope and opportunity there as well for investment. In the south, you have got projects as well as in the northeast. I'm sure you've got a copy of this presentation in your package, so you can go through the details in that. Marketing infrastructure under horticulture. In the central region as well as in the northern areas, there is also opportunities under the marketing infrastructure. Industrial projects, plows, tractors, milling machines, fertilizers, seeds, pesticides, you name it, there is ample scope for that. Now what you see here is a list of projects that have been notified to the ministry through which they are seeking investors. If you identify a particular project here that you like, you can get in touch with me or some of the colleagues that are here in the delegation, If there are no projects here that you are interested in, you can still get in touch with me and we can see how we can assist you in order to move the process forward. My contact details, telephone number, fax number. I'm based at our embassy in Brussels, that's why you see the +32. Email, the first one is my official email address, and the second one is the private one. So these are my coordinates, you can get hold of me. I move on. This is just a picture of some of the green scheme projects that are running. You can see from the pictures you have got table grapes as well as dates. Rainfall map of Namibia. As you move from the northeast to the southwest, you can see the rainfall patterns are changing. The rivers that I mentioned, the Kunene, Kavango, Zambezi, as well as the Orange River. The first three you find along the borders with Angola and Zambia, and the Orange River is with South Africa in the south. Also dams such as the Noto Dam and Harper Dam provides a great source of water that can be used for the irrigation, purposes. And with that, I thank you.
Come avrete sicuramente capito, uno dei problemi strutturali di un paese come la Namibia è la mancanza di acqua. Acqua è una risorsa scarsa. Water is a scarce resource in Namibia. We do what we can and what is possible to make it possible that water will not generate any sort of type of conflicts. But of course, we are talking about opportunities, and we have been talking agriculture products, fish products, but tourism, il turismo fa parte del prossimo intervento. Se Roberto è così gentile a venire sul palco. Roberto Trasoldi è responsabile dell'Air Namibia e dell'ente del turismo della Namibia in Italia e ci parlerà del turismo in Namibia.
Mr. Consul, thank you very much for the opportunity that you have given us to talk about this beautiful country. Now, about Namibia, we said a lot of things before, abbiamo detto tante cose prima. Ora, diciamo che la Namibia è un paese che offre tantissime possibilità, si può viaggiare in vari modi. Ora, una delle cose che abbiamo sottolineato, sono state sottolineate prima, è che la Namibia è un paese democratico, un paese tranquillo, è un paese adatto a tutti i target, è adatto alle famiglie, è adatto perfino ai viaggi di nozze. Ora dico perfino perché in realtà i target di viaggi di nozze solitamente si fanno in paesi tranquilli, esotici, e la Namibia sicuramente offre queste cose. Ora, vi do qualche dato statistico che riguarda il 2009 e parte del 2010. Allora, circa 12.000 italiani si sono recati in Namibia. Se pensiamo a investimenti, sicuramente l'investimento negli ultimi 5 anni è stato enorme. Pensate che i turisti italiani nel 2005 erano soltanto 5.000. Ora, i turisti italiani si muovono soprattutto nei mesi estivi di luglio ed agosto. È un qualche cosa che noi stiamo cercando di modificare, perché in realtà se vogliamo crescere dobbiamo farlo nei mesi che appunto non sono quelli di punta. La durata media del soggiorno in Namibia è di 12 giorni. Il 28% degli italiani rimane fino a una settimana e poi abbiamo un buon 29% che rimane fra 15 e 21 giorni. Abbiamo anche una percentuale di fortunati che rimangono oltre i 20 giorni, rappresentano circa il 5%. Ora, la Air Namibia, come si diceva, è il vettore di bandiera del paese, collega la capitale Windhoek con Francoforte 6 volte alla settimana. Ora, dall'aprile del 2012 i voli saranno quotidiani e la Air Namibia sta sviluppando una rete di servizi domestici molto interessanti. Ha raddoppiato alcuni voli da Windhoek, dall'aeroporto di Elos di Windhoek a Katima Mulilo, per esempio, raddoppiando le frequenze da 3 a 6 settimanali, e ha anche investito parecchio per quanto riguarda il network regionale. Sono stati inaugurati dei voli da Windhoek per Lusaka, sono stati potenziati i servizi per Luanda e per Accra. Perciò ecco, la vocazione della Air Namibia è sicuramente quella di sviluppo del traffico interno. Si diceva prima che la Namibia è un paese, è il punto di ingresso, il gateway, il punto di ingresso per i paesi del SADC. E in realtà la Namibia approfitta di questa situazione particolarmente favorevole per sviluppare il proprio traffico. Queste immagini bellissime, ecco. I lodge in Namibia sono di vario tipo. Qui avete visto un lodge particolarmente lussuoso, no? E ce ne sono però per tutte le tasche. In realtà la Namibia, come si diceva, è un paese alla portata di tutti, nonostante sia un paese impegnativo dal punto di vista del viaggio, perché non è certamente un viaggio semplicissimo, è alla portata di quasi tutti. Faccio un esempio: il viaggio con la Namibia costa all'incirca 1.000 euro, poi dipende dalla sistemazione che voi sceglierete, che i clienti sceglieranno di sfruttare in Namibia. Diciamo che il costo di una vacanza media di 2 settimane si aggira tra i 2.800 e i 3.500 euro. Ecco. Poi naturalmente c'è la possibilità di spendere molto di più. Quali sono i motivi per andare in Namibia? I motivi principali sono sostanzialmente questi che abbiamo visto: la natura meravigliosa e incontaminata, i 2 deserti più antichi del mondo, come già il console Johannesen ha menzionato, il deserto del Kalahari e il deserto del Namib, la flora. Ecco, abbiamo visto alcuni esempi molto particolari. Ci sono 2 piante che mi piace ricordare in particolare perché sono caratteristiche e endemiche. Sono la Verbicia mirabilis, che è una pianta che cresce nel deserto del Namib ed ha questa caratteristica di essere millenaria e di nutrirsi praticamente grazie all'umidità dell'oceano. L'altro albero particolarmente interessante è l'albero faretra, che abbiamo visto poco fa in una delle slide, chiamato così perché i boscitani in effetti utilizzavano i rami per sfruttarli come delle faretre. È inutile parlare della fauna e del grande parco di Etosha, che è uno dei parchi più importanti del mondo. Vi do soltanto qualche indicazione: ci sono 20 tipi di antilope, 240 tipi di mammiferi, 250 di rettili e circa 630 specie di uccelli, pensate. E naturalmente ci sono i grandi 5, i big five, che sono leone, rinoceronte, leopardo, elefante e bufalo. La dimensione del parco, giusto per darvi un'idea, poi credo di dover chiudere il mio intervento, è di ben 22.000 km², quindi è veramente un parco enorme. La caratteristica di questo parco è una vegetazione molto bassa, che quindi favorisce la possibilità di vedere tutti gli animali che lo popolano. Se ho ancora un po' di tempo, Peter, possiamo raccontare altri argomenti validi per i quali si può andare in Namibia. Sicuramente la geologia, abbiamo parlato prima delle pietre, abbiamo parlato dei diamanti, ma ricordiamoci che insomma la Namibia offre anche la possibilità di vedere e di toccare una quantità incredibile di pietre preziose e semi preziose di grande interesse. L'astronomia, il cielo della Namibia è un paradiso astronomico perché è interessantissimo, perché è limpidissimo, trasparente. Una delle caratteristiche di questo paese è la completa assenza di inquinamento e questo naturalmente favorisce la possibilità di vedere gli astri in modo molto interessante. L'archeologia, naturalmente. La Fontaine è stata nominata prima, è una valle situata nel Damaraland, è un sito riconosciuto, un sito archeologico dichiarato monumento nazionale già dal 1952 e appunto contiene circa 2500 incisioni rupestri. Le etnie, si parlava della democrazia compiuta, in effetti è una democrazia giovane la Namibia, ma mi piace ricordare che convivono pacificamente e in modo molto diciamo naturale la presenza di 13 etnie, nonostante parliamo soltanto di circa 2 milioni, come si diceva, circa 2.200.000 abitanti dalla popolazione della Namibia. Ebbene, questa è arricchita dalla presenza di ben 13 etnie che convivono in modo esemplare. Assolutamente. Gli Obambo rappresentano circa il 50% delle popolazioni, ma poi ne abbiamo ovviamente le altre 12. Anche le famiglie linguistiche della Namibia sono particolarmente interessanti, no? Perché ne ricordo una particolare che è il Khoisan, no? Un gruppo linguistico con lo schioppo, praticamente le parole vengono anticipate da una sorta di movimento così della lingua che è caratteristico, è un suono scoppiettante senza che si emette battendo la lingua quando sto parlando. È parlato da 3 etnie distinte, questo Khoisan, sostanzialmente dai San, dai Nama e dai Namara. Grazie.
Fantastico. Io devo essere sincero, abbiamo fatto un po' di passaggi, un attimino in vari settori strategici e abbiamo, siccome stiamo entrando un po' nella focalizzazione dei vari argomenti, io avrei piacere di invitare Lenali Basson to come up here with me. Lei dovrà parlare di un argomento meraviglioso, la carne della vita. La carne, the meat. Because carne can mean other things as well. So, the floor is yours.
All protocol observed. Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Lelani Basson and I represent a company called Meatco. Our product of premium quality beef is distributed under the product name of Nature's Reserve. In essence, about 70% of our population are involved either directly or indirectly in the agriculture game in Namibia. And what we offer European companies basically is in addition to offering our customers quality beef and lamb, we offer an opportunity to support a developing nation and its agricultural economy, and I'll go a bit into detail on that a little bit later. Basically, Meatco cattle are produced naturally with no hormones or antibiotics. We have 2 plants in Windhoek and Okahanya, which is in the southern side of the country, which are EU-approved abattoirs. We have 2 other abattoirs as well, but they are not EU-approved in the northern part of our country. We offer, there's a lot of quality standards and audits that are done in order to ensure that these abattoirs remain EU approved, and these audits are done annually. And basically considerably chilled, our product is chilled following slaughter with full pH testing, and we butcher to retail specification. Now I must add just that the face of Mika has changed considerably over the last 5 years. We were playing in a commodity game, and about 70% of our product was basically going into the UK market. Over the past 5 years, that has considerably changed, and we are now more in a niche value addition strategy that we are following, and it's paying off very well for Namibia and its farmers. So basically the question today is, two most important questions to ask is, who might buy beef from Namibia, and why buy beef from Namibia? And on the screen I've got a slide basically just to give you some kind of an indication in terms of our EU sales. And with this I must add as well that I've not included any markets, additional markets globally that we are busy playing in. We are busy with accreditation for the US market. We are also playing in the Middle East and Far East approval processes. So Mika really is a success story for Namibia, and I'll be bold in stating as well that we're also a success story for Africa, because no other retail or plant abattoir has been able to make the inroads and the successes we have in the retail space under a local brand. So the brand strength in terms of our meat from Namibia is that it's good quality. We have a 52-week availability. We, as I said earlier, we gear for the market, what the market requires, and we change according to what your specifications would be. And then there's a crossbreed as well. There's a crossbreed between the European breeds and the Namibian breeds, and that is necessary. European side for the quality of the product, and from the Namibian side in terms so that the animals can actually survive and sustain the climates in our country. We also have a lot of ethical considerations that happens, and there's an ethnic market as well, the halal. So all product from Mika is halal. As I mentioned earlier, in terms of the not just good quality beef, but also avails European companies to support a developing nation such as Namibia. There's a lot of partnership also that happens with our current customers, and one that I'd like to highlight is the Danish co-op, who are involved with a project for boreholes in the northern part of our country. Now, the northern part of our country is it's not a very commercialized farming. It is what we refer to as communal farming and emerging farmers. So there's a lot of development that needs to take place in the northern parts of our country. And Danish co-op have, to date, invested 60,000 euros for a borehole project in that side of the country. There's also a lot of CSI certification activities, independent CSG, social labor rights audit, which is done in our plants. And there's also been a benchmark. We have a traceability system in Namibia called the fan meat system. And we have gone and we benchmarked that against the global gap, which I think some of you might be familiar with. And so these audits were done in preparation for certification and recognition of the fan meat will be happening in 2012. In terms of, I've spoken about beef, but just to add as well, over the last probably about 18 months, we have built a world-class value addition plant where we are now getting ready for export in terms of lamb and game. We are in the final stages of our EU approval for these, so if there's any opportunity, this is obviously not happening into Italy at the moment, so if you do recognize this as an opportunity, you're most welcome to talk to me afterwards. But yes, we're in our final stages of obtaining EU approval for that plant as well. And to end off, I just have a slide to indicate in terms of our retail customers. I think there's some Italian ones that you would identify as well, so those are the customers that we are currently dealing with. And as I said earlier, I'll be very bold in stating that Nature's Reserve is truly a Namibian success story, but also an African success story. Thank you.
pubblicità, ma un po' la devo fare. Voi forse non sapete che il miglior, quello che noi spesso mangiamo come, non il prosciutto, non il, come si chiama quello che fa rigamonti buono? Ecco la parola! La migliore brisaola fatta da rigamonti proviene da carne namibiana, la più alta qualità del prodotto rigamonti. E vorrei poi do la parola a Neville Neveling, che ci dà una panoramica dell'esperienza di fare turismo. Stiamo passando dal momento, chiamiamolo industriale, commerciale, adesso alle esperienze. Traveling experience in Namibia, un esempio di turismo.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 1970 I was a tiny little boy, and my brother was just out of school and he visited Italy. That was his first visit overseas. And he came back and he said to me, Neville, I have got to tell you that if you go to Italy, there is one thing you must taste, and that is Mr. August Motta's spongy panotti. I was so pleased when I came to Milan to find August Motta's cafes. That's the first thing I saw. I did not even go to the hotel. I went straight into Motta's. It was an experience and a half. I thank you so much, Italy, for the sweetness that you bring in your pastries and in your ice creams. Man, they are fantastic. A little later in life, I was forced to do Shakespeare in my English exams. And of course it was Romeo and Juliet. And I was so thrilled to know that Verona is a real city. It's good to be in Italy. There's magic in the streets. I love it. It's tangible. My friend Randy and I went and sat in one of the cafes just in between, but we selected a cafe where there was no tourists. It's hard, but it's possible. And it was good to just hear and experience the Italian people around us. It's amazing. But firstly, ladies, please close your ears just for a moment. Gentlemen, I don't know what you do, but I think you have got a DNA bank. Because you are producing the most gorgeous woman. How did you do that? I really don't know. Anyway. And then of course later in life, I was involved in art. I still am involved in art, investment art in particular. And of course, being involved in investment art, you know that the works of Leonardo da Vinci will be very important to me. So yesterday when I came to the Santa Maria del Grati, I almost cried because I haven't seen the painting. I can't see the painting, and I'm in Milan. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you have a fantastic city. Robert Elliott, He said, if you can only visit 2 continents in your life, visit Africa twice. Because Africa too has a magic. And Namibia is the magic of Africa. It's an incredible country. Neil Diamond once wrote a song and he put it this way. He said, signs that burn like shooting stars that pass across the nighttime skies, they reach out in their mystic language for us to read between the lines. This is very apt of Namibia. People across the globe look at the shooting stars and they wish on them, these stars that pass through our nighttime skies, and they wish to decipher this mystic language of the greater universe, and they wish to embrace and experience the many flavors and sounds and feelings that this beautiful world has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, Namibia has got so much to offer in terms of this. In terms of our research, we found that the people from Italy, Spain, and some of the other Latin-speaking countries, they really like, let me just tell you, that of course is some of the essence of Namibia, a really good fire. That's part of magic, isn't it? Just sitting looking into a fire and a fire. That is so good. In terms of our research, our visitors said that they love the outdoors. They love sports, they like to visit some museums, and they enjoy adventure activities. At Swakopmund we have an incredible amount of action-adventure activities. Our visitors requested that they want more culinary experiences that are true Namibian. We can offer that for you. That's why I am here. We can introduce you to the arts and crafts of Namibia. We can introduce you to local entertainment. We can give you a cultural experience that you will never forget. And we can let you experience the outdoors. Let me just take a moment on the cultural experience. There's a group of people in Namibia called the Himba. They are an ancient people. And the Himba, if you go and visit the Himba in Opuvo, you will start seeing at some point in time that these people will start walking like you. They will start making the same hand gestures at you. They will tilt the head just in exactly the same way as you. And it will be a little bit frustrating, like, what's going on now? And then you start asking and you find out the reason is the Himbas say that you ever come to their village or their area where they live, you will never depart. Even if you go in person, your spirit will remain behind. So they have this system where one person in the community will start mimicking you, so that when you are gone, long after you are gone, every now and again, that man will start walking and talking and using that just to remind the people that you are still around. Incredible. You can go and experience these kinds of cultural things in Namibia. We were approached several times by operators and agents from overseas, and the standard need expressed: how can we offer this personal experience to visitors? How can we make sure that our visitors will experience what you have just told us? Big operators in Germany, like Dartour, for instance, have just asked me to develop a specific program for them to make sure that they can actually experience this kind of thing. To do that, the groups must be smaller. They cannot be larger than 6 to 8. It's difficult to make a personal experience with a group of 30 people. It's just not possible. So the groups must be small. The programs should cater and be available as a fully independent traveler or a self-drive option. That is very important. We know that we ride on the wrong side of the road. Yes, it is a challenge, but we don't have the amount of traffic that Italy has, so it is quite okay. You will have enough time to get used to riding on the wrong side of the road without having to concentrate on the traffic as well. So that is possible. Fully independent travel, because there's a lot of people that come in as fully independent travelers. It's a big market. Do not ignore it, operators. Do not ignore your FIT market. It's a growing market. It's an interesting market. It should include projects such as the multi-purpose center or the Joy Center. The Joy Center is it's areas where local people are being helped and projects are available. People want to see that. They don't just want to see the sites. Of course we want to see the sites, but we also want to see what is really happening with Namibians. So take them there to those projects. And it must include a variety of experience. Involvement is the term here. They do not want to go to a dance and see how the locals dance. They say, take me to a place where the locals will teach me the local dance. This is the difference. It must be involvement in the community, always on a personal level. Our agents' requirements, of course, our agents want to be sure that our standards are up to standard. They don't want to send people there and they come there and they find out, oh, this bed is not so good to sleep in, or I don't actually want to try and even get into this car, it will be a mistake. So we must ensure, and as operators on our side, we can ensure you that our standards are controlled by the Namibian Tourism Board. We have to be inspected on a regular basis, and we have to make sure that our standards remain as it is supposed to be. So we can physically offer you and tell you that our standards are way above what is expected. Of course, safety is very important to operators, and we can make sure and tell you that our government is a stable government, that our government cooperates in making sure that it is stable. We have got neighborhood watches which works together with our local police, so we can actually ensure safety. Of course, responsibility. They want people to take responsibility. If you deal with me and my group, I can assure you that we take responsibility and we work not only within Namibian standards, but within EU standards. We are well aware of that. Of course, agents want a single point of business. It makes a lot of sense. If you have to go and pay 13 people, it's 13 times the transfer costs, which I think is something like 100 euros. It's unnecessary. If you transfer money to one person you deal with, it's much easier. So yes, we can give you a single point of business. As far as our market is concerned, it has grown. As you have seen, it's grown from up to 12,000. The growth rate is pretty good for the Italian market. It's about 2% growing, and that's pretty good. It showed real growth, like we said. Let's translate that. You can have one contact point in dealing with us. Most of the people are sitting here are individual operators, but they are working with us. We make sure that they get the business. You can book and confirm all reservations. We can help you with car rentals. We can do your activities and tours for you. We can provide the infrastructure to ease payments. We can make sure and tell you that it's trusted product providers. We have a meet and greet service at the airport where we provide full information packs. We discuss the routes and road conditions with the people. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are on a self-drive tour, we've got a fantastic product called Audio Tourist Guide, which you put into your radio. It works on GPRS, and as the self-drive tourist is driving along, if it's past any point of interest that is of any value, it will take the music away and it will tell him about this point of interest. it has got another fantastic feature in that if you are approaching a gravel road, it will tell you you are now approaching a gravel road. If you are approaching a sharp turn on a gravel road, it will tell you what sharp turn you are approaching, to the right or to the left, or a T-junction on a gravel road. So it really assists the person that wants to drive himself. We provide emergency contact numbers so that they are right. What kind of experience are we going to give you? This is the real personal stuff up front. We can really let you experience Namibian farm life, how it works. That slide there is of the Namibian Karakul farmers, and the farm in particular is called Lovedale. That's way out in Helmeringhausen in the south of Namibia. It's interesting, I think, also for the fashion people in Milan. That's a fashion product, and it's coming back into the market very strongly. The price of Swakara is up, it's going up, seriously. You can learn about indigenous people, the Bushmen. We've got 4 types of Bushmen, not just one. And there's major differences between them. One, Haikkom Bushmen, for instance, they make their poison from a plant, a shrub, and there's an antidote. The Sound Bushmen, they make it from a pupae, a type of a worm. There's no antidote. If a Sound Bushman scratches him, he can go to his wife and says, "Thank you, it was nice knowing you, I'll see you in the year after." Authentic Namibian storytelling around the fires, traditional dancing, you can feast on traditional dishes, you can experience the living desert, because we may be the oldest desert, but we're also the oldest living desert. You can get your hair braided at one of the local markets. You can join a carnival. There is ample opportunities. There's some of our Himba ladies. In short, ladies and gentlemen, we offer you real experiences with real people, real Namibians, in their real environment. I thank you.
Va benissimo. Avete capito quanto è bellissima la Namibia? Se devo essere io sincero, abbiamo sostanzialmente finito i relatori namibiani. Ci siamo permessi, abbiamo desiderato e vogliamo che ci possa essere la possibilità anche per alcuni italiani che hanno un'esperienza in Namibia, che hanno fatto del business in Namibia, che hanno fatto investimenti in Namibia, che sono attivi in Namibia, che sono stati contaminati da noi namibiani e che in qualche modo riescono anche a riflettere quello che è la Namibia. No, dopo, aspettate. Comunque mi hanno appena informato che il presidente di Italafrica, il Cestari, è qui e posso invitarla su a chiacchierare qualche minuto con noi prima che passiamo la parola a Davide Bomber.
Innanzitutto buongiorno a tutti gli invitati, saluto con affetto il console, il mio amico, con il quale abbiamo condiviso diverse esperienze africane. Faccio il benvenuto alle istituzioni namibiane, i primi interessati a questa presentazione. Ringrazio l'ambasciata di Parigi, della Namibia e di Bruxelles. Voglio brevemente prendere giusto qualche minuto, ma non voglio affaticare nessuno perché ormai la giornata sono arrivato un po' in ritardo e ho visto che i miei predecessori hanno spiegato molto bene diversi settori delle opportunità di investimento nella Namibia. Io sono il presidente dell'unica Camera di Commercio tra l'Italia e l'Africa centrale, che racchiude oltre 300 imprenditori italiani che lavorano stabilmente nell'Africa subsahariana e anche in Namibia. Siamo presenti in Italia, al sud a Napoli, al centro a Roma e qui a Milano a Corso Sempione. Mi rivolgo a tutti gli imprenditori italiani, mi rivolgo a tutti gli imprenditori africani e mi rivolgo a tutte le istituzioni, perché la nostra attività è soprattutto economica, ma all'atere ci sono altre iniziative altrettanto importanti. Per quanto riguarda le sedi africane, noi siamo presenti in diversi paesi dell'Africa subsahariana, abbiamo delle relazioni anche con la Namibia, con le università, con le Camere di Commercio, con le istituzioni. Abbiamo dalla nostra sede di Bruxelles, e mi permetto di dire due parole per quanto riguarda l'attività che svolgiamo a Bruxelles, credo che sia molto importante anche per gli imprenditori presenti in sala. Da Bruxelles la sede svolge soprattutto monitoraggio di tutti quelli che sono i bandi messi a disposizione dall'Unione Europea, dalla Banca Europea degli Investimenti, dalla Banca Africana di Sviluppo e dal nostro paese, dal governo italiano. Noi facciamo un monitoraggio per capire quali sono le risorse che si possono mettere a disposizione, a quali bandi le imprese e le istituzioni possono partecipare. In questo momento anche di situazioni particolari di tensione economica è molto importante che gli imprenditori abbiano la possibilità di rivolgersi a queste istituzioni per poter cercare di finanziare delle iniziative. Magari molti imprenditori vorrebbero andare in Africa, ma le nostre banche italiane, come tutti sapete, già difficilmente riescono a finanziare quelle che sono le attività italiane. Immaginiamo quanto possa essere difficile farsi finanziare un progetto, seppure importante, per l'Africa o per la Namibia in generale. E quindi la nostra è soprattutto un'attività rivolta a sostenere gli imprenditori già da qui, dall'Italia, dall'Unione Europea, affinché essi possano arrivare a organizzare una missione in Namibia con tutta la necessaria cautela affinché si possa andare in quel paese o in paesi del continente africano con una serie di informazioni importanti, altrimenti un imprenditore che va in giro senza aver preso conoscenza e senza aver valutato quelle che sono le difficoltà per fare impresa, per esportare i propri prodotti o per importare dei prodotti, difficilmente possono avere possibilità di successo. Quindi facciamo un'attività di sostegno, valutiamo i progetti, siamo rappresentanti della Banca Europea degli Investimenti per progetti superiori a 10 milioni di euro, sosteniamo le istituzioni africane.
The remote villages that they can have access to energy. This is where renewable energy is still needed. You are welcome to consider those options. We do not have renewable energy in the form of plant factory. We are still relying on our main energy from the neighboring countries. This is why I am here, to give you the true picture. That is what you have read or heard through CNN or BBC, but now you are hearing it from a Namibian decision maker. This is the position. I hope I have answered your question. And thank you very much for believing in Peter.
Flattering doesn't bring anywhere, but it helps. Bene, questa volta però posso dire che abbiamo concluso questa parte della nostra giornata. Siete tutti invitati a un buffet lunch. Nel pomeriggio, subito dopo, questa sala sarà ristrutturata con una serie di scrivanie. Chi ha piacere e interesse a incontrare B2B, faccia a faccia, con gli operatori namibiani, possono accordarsi con loro nel corso della colazione, del pranzo, del lunch e poi incontrarsi proprio su scrivania a due a due. Mr. Minister, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. Buon lavoro e grazie per essere venuti.